Hey guys, this is a video I've been really excited to make because I have high expectations. I've been told that where I am now, here in Xinyi District, is probably the ultimate spot for busking in all of Taiwan, really, and certainly here in Taipei. So today I'm holding the mic a bit closer to my mouth because I'm anticipating it'll probably be quite loud. Hopefully it'll be loud with some buskers. Let me show you what I'm looking at right now. Now, again, I've been told this by local buskers, but I haven't done too much research because I really want to just experience things for myself. But even just to look at it right now, just the vibrancy of it, this feels like it's potentially a busker's paradise. I think that we're going to see numerous buskers up and down this whole boulevard, which leads to Taipei 101. And right away, check this out. What a first impression. Oh my God. I don't know what I'm looking at right now, but the crowd is enormous. Let's go see what's going on. It's very, sonically, it's very chaotic. Over here, these speakers are blasting music, so I don't know whether that continues during the actual performance or not, but maybe we'll find out. Let's see what's going on here. Wow. Full-on costumes. And look at this. It looks like a press conference. Maybe what's going on here is unusual because, look, it's almost like a press conference with tons and tons of people lined up. And a lot of sort of professional grade cameras. So I don't even know exactly what I'm looking at. Seems like some sort of a band dressed as baseball players. They've got a drum kit, they've got a keyboard. I've never seen anything like this anywhere. This is amazing that the first corner that I turn, I don't know what kind of buskers, what kind of acts, but to see this giant crowd and this unusual lineup of musicians dressed like this is already setting a super high bar. I don't know how soon they're gonna play, so I think what I'll do is I'm gonna keep walking around. I'm gonna go to one end and then circle back and do kind of a loop, and perhaps by the time we return, they'll be performing. I think we'd be better off in this video to cover as much ground as possible. And I do hope to check them out because I don't know exactly what to expect. And look over here. I'm not sure if these are buskers or not, or maybe just TikTokers. But this looks to me like maybe they're dancing. And once again, look at all the cameras. Part of me feels like it would have made sense to do some research about this area and then inform you guys. But I seem to just be diving in. I mean, I kind of know anybody who's curious can just Google it, go on ChatGPT and quickly figure out the information better than I could remember it and regurgitate it here. So I think it's best, wherever possible, for me to dive in and experience these things innocently and naively, so that everything is sort of fresh. But my first impressions walking around here, and again looking up ahead, is the way this is configured is just a dream for buskers. Tons and tons of foot traffic. It's a Friday night, by the way, so I think this is probably prime time. It's probably roughly around 8 o'clock, so I'm guessing maybe from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday would be the ultimate time to come down here and busk. But the sheer volume of people and the width of this column, this sort of walking pedestrian mall. And I'm also noticing plenty of places to sit down as well, lots of benches. I don't know to what extent this was designed with performance in mind, but yeah, I can really see when you think about all the elements that go into connecting with an audience. It starts with ideally a ton of people being relaxed and comfortable. Here's another busker. Let's check this guy out. Looks like he's got some sort of a monitor. Let's see what he's reading off of. Is it sort of like a karaoke style thing? It almost looks like karaoke style busking, where he's got his microphone and he's basically doing karaoke in public. Here's another performer, it looks like. I don't know if he's setting up or finishing up, but he looks like he's maybe like a circle act kind of performer. Looks like maybe he's packing up and we've just missed his performance. But yeah, man, this is unreal. So one thing I did look into and clarify was that I think the performers almost exclusively here are locals. Excuse me. The area is quite regulated, so I think there's probably auditions and applications and permits. So because it's heavily regulated, I don't know if there's ever foreign buskers or what the circumstances are that would allow for them to busk here. I don't think I'll get a chance to busk here myself on this trip, which is a shame because, wow, that would be really something. But never say never, you never know. In the course of the next week, you never know who I'll meet. And maybe I'll get lucky and meet a busker who'll just let me get up and play, even just a couple of songs. That's definitely something to aim for. Now, the path that we're walking down is leading towards the Taipei 101 Tower. And that is the tower where just a few days ago I just missed it. It was international news. There was an American rock climber who amazingly climbed to the top of the tower without any ropes or safety harnesses whatsoever. So it's one of the largest buildings in the world. And by the time we get to the end of this area, I think we'll get a chance to see it. I can see another busker right here. And there's a bit of a crowd. And check out all these benches, like I was saying, for people that want to enjoy the performers. They're able to kind of get comfortable. Looks like a duo here. Looks like maybe this lady has a request. We'll circle back. Again, my timing so far hasn't been great as far as actually seeing buskers do their thing. So far, maybe I'm here at the time when people are kind of setting up and just getting started. I can see another busker up here ahead as well. So maybe right now this first pass is kind of seeing how many busking spots there are. And on the way back, hopefully there'll be more examples of them actually performing, so we can actually check them out in action. Here's another busker setting up, getting ready. And I can hear, I think, another one just up ahead. This is so cool. This is like, whether I get to perform here or not, this is absolutely a dream come true for me, just to have a vision to connect with buskers around the world, and to now be here witnessing something like this, and to think the reason I'm here is because I'm following that dream. Amazing.
在每一个梦醒时分，我想写着你
What an incredible spot right here. And check it out. There it is. Taipei 101. This is the tower that a guy climbed to the top of. And look at this spot. This has got to be the dream spot to do your thing, and while you're performing this music, you can look around at people enjoying the music. And how's that for a view? Unreal, guys. We're gonna keep walking. I think it looks like one more block, and then we'll circle back and hopefully have the chance to see these performers do their thing a little bit more. I'd love to actually meet these performers. I might stick around after shooting this video just to introduce myself. Typically what I've done is, in the past, is find buskers online and send them a direct message. But there's nothing like just approaching somebody and talking to them directly. I know when I'm busking, I always appreciate people coming over and, you know, having a chat. So I think if I can tonight, it would be pretty ideal to just go up, make introductions, let them know, you know, that we have something in common as far as our passion for busking, and maybe I could even ask some of them about doing interviews, because I think that's kind of the ultimate way to document some of the connections that happen, is to actually sit down and do like a 20-minute interview, such as I've been doing recently, like the interview I did with Tech Cortez in Manila just about a week ago. Those interviews don't necessarily garner a lot of views compared to other videos on my channel, but I'm completely undeterred, because for me, like, I want the channel to grow. So I care about the numbers in that sense. I want the videos to be entertaining, and I want more and more people to take an interest in the channel. Especially like when I think about interviewing people, to gain more exposure for them as well, you know? But the reality is, when I do the interviews, if people don't know them, you know, they're not necessarily searching for them as much, and they just don't get the same traction. But I think that with my channel, I'm realizing increasingly, I care about its growth, but what I really care about is documenting these experiences. So I'd love to interview some of these buskers down here. Come right back, and what I'll try to do with the buskers as well is see if I can zoom in on their signs to make sure that they get a proper shout out in case you're interested to check any of them out. This is incredible, guys. I feel like in these videos I say wow a lot and I talk about how incredible what's going on is, but that's the truth. This is pretty incredible. Look at this. I mean, that's amazing. What blows my mind when I think about it is, why am I here? How did I end up in this fascinating place with this, you know, new country, different language, different customs? I'm here because whether it makes sense to anybody else objectively, whether it makes sense economically, practically, logistically, what have you, it just feels right for me to explore the premise that around the world there's people like this performer who you know, I have something in common with. Without even knowing her, I know that we have something in common. And that's really, really powerful. It's really, really amazing to me to think about how many people there are in the world and how, as I've said before, and I'll say again, we really are more alike than we are different. And there's something about the busking spirit in particular, which is the will to just put yourself out there and do what you love, play music on the street, which can be, you know, like on a night like tonight down here, it can be a lot of encouragement. It can make you feel like you're really onto something. And there's plenty of times when you're performing music in general, but certainly out on the street where you might feel, I don't know, like you could be in some sketchy situations, you could feel ignored, but you do it anyway, you know, you just keep doing it. You keep showing up, as my friend August Radio Project would say. And sometimes amazing things can happen. So you know what, let me go in there right now and give her a shout out. Let me make sure I get her information if it's there. See if I can find it. Hopefully I'll be able to reach out as well directly to some of these folks if I don't see some of them tonight, and let them know I enjoyed their performances. So much talent. You never know what you're gonna get with busking, but already you're seeing the talent. I'm really curious to go back to where we started and check out those baseball playing musicians, or at least baseball uniform wearing musicians. Maybe they do play baseball, who knows? Maybe they're on a softball team or something. Such an incredibly vibrant area. You know, I don't know if I'll get to perform down here on this trip. I don't know if I go around the world exploring these locations, whether it will ever lead to me doing what I truly dream of, which is playing around the world. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I'm a good enough singer. I don't know if I'm a good enough guitar player. I don't know if I have a good enough repertoire of cover songs, or if my original songs are good enough. I don't know any of it. And because I'm 45 years old, as opposed to say 20 years old, you know, in a way it'd be easy for me to arrive at the conclusion I'm in the situation I'm in because I'm mediocre at what I do. But that kind of thinking, I think really, I don't know, I think having a belief system like that explains more sort of mediocre results than anybody's talent or perceived lack of talent. And for me, it doesn't really matter where I end up. I love fighting for what I believe in. I love connecting with people who I have something in common with. And I'm going to keep doing this no matter where it leads. And on this channel, doing these videos, you know, I have to thank you guys for accompanying me, because if I was doing this channel and I had 0 subscribers and nobody was watching any of the videos, at some point I would start to question whether I've lost the plot, whether I've lost my mind. But every time I see a supportive comment, whether a video gets a lot of views or not a lot of views, every time I see one person say, I'm watching from Australia, or I'm watching from any number of places in the world, and they say, keep going, I think, there it is. I gotta keep going. I gotta find out what happens next if I keep going. I'm gonna see if I can find a sign or something. I couldn't see a sign. I think there might have been a small sign that was kind of difficult to read in Mandarin. What I'm going to do after this video, I think, is I'll circle back and I'll continue to watch the buskers and see if I can shake their hand and say hello. I think that would be a good idea. For the sake of this video, I want to keep moving just to show you everybody one more time. And it looks like this guy does have a sign. Looks like he has an Instagram. Hey. So up ahead is this duo that we saw before. Looks like now they're performing a song. Earlier they were chatting with somebody. Looked like there was somebody had a song request. So let's go in here and get their signage as well. Let's see if we can see it. I'm conscious when I do that I'm getting in other people's shots. So I tried to do it as quickly as possible. I want to support them by getting their social media information, but I don't want to stand right in front of them while other people are shooting videos. Okay, I'm just looking ahead to where we're going next. And I think we've got just a little ways further before we get to that that band dressed as a baseball team. You know, in these videos, I never do what you're kind of supposed to do on Instagram, or sorry, on YouTube, which is, you know, compel people. You're gonna want to stick around for the end of the video because such and such is gonna happen. Maybe I should be doing that. I don't know. I never really ask people to subscribe. I never tell people they gotta stay till the end of the video. I just assume if they want to that they will. Either I'm super naive about how YouTube works and I should be doing that, or maybe I'm onto something by, you know, not thinking too much about trying to compel you guys. It's just either you're going to be interested or you're not. All I can say is, for me, I'm super curious what the deal is with that first act that we saw with the giant crowd around them. It looked like there were some pro photographers. Like, is the reason there's a giant crowd before they've even begun to perform, is that because they are famous here in Taiwan maybe? Is there a reason? Like something we don't know? Or are people like me just intrigued by what's about to happen? We've seen a bunch of different buskers and we've kind of seen a bit of everything. Oh, look at this, speaking of which. This looks like a circle show to me. You can see that he's defined the parameters, like the border around his performance area for everybody's safety. And sometimes you'll see like jugglers, acrobats, sometimes people, yeah, in this case spinning a basketball. I don't know if he'll light the basketball on fire, anything is possible. But this is the first sort of circle show that we've seen down here. Very cool. I'm glad that we saw that as well, because there's a little bit of everything down here, not just musicians, mostly musicians. But that makes me think that there's probably circle acts that come down here as well. And my first experience I've ever seen busking, by the way, was growing up in Victoria, in Canada, Victoria, BC. And in the Inner Harbor, Victoria's a very touristy city. And in the Inner Harbor, you'd often see in the summers when people from cruise ships, from touring from America, would come into the Inner Harbor and they'd gather around and watch the street performers doing their circle acts. So my first exposure to busking as a kid was seeing those circle acts. And in Vancouver, where I live now, you'll see that in places like Granville Island, which is another place that I've busked as well. And that was the first time, actually, now that I think about it, that was really the first time I even conceived of this idea that there's people out there who go around the world busking, you know, who have the freedom to just chase the sun. You know, if it's winter in Canada, for example, they'll go down to Australia. They'll go busk in Europe. They'll go busk in Asia. That was my first exposure, and really, for the most part, those are the people I've known to make a living going around the world, entertaining people, connecting with people, is sort of jugglers, acrobats, like circus people who put on highly entertaining shows. Usually they'll do comedy as well to build a crowd and really connect to the crowd. And less so have I ever known musicians to do it. And I don't even know like what the possibility is for me or anybody to pull that off. But I'm curious to find out, and that's why I just keep pulling on this thread. We're back to where we started just about, and the crowd is still there. Over here earlier, I was speculating that this is sort of less busking than it is some sort of a dance performance. This must be, maybe this is sort of the prime area, I don't know, because that's a pretty cool setup there. Over here, we still have the giant crowd. I don't hear music. Let's get close and find out what's going on. I don't know whether maybe they had finished performing when we came before, and now it looks like they might be packing up. Let's go get a closer look. Yeah, it looks like they're packing up. So there must have been a performance that we had just missed, and this is the aftermath. They're up there. I'm almost tempted to go up and ask them who they are and what's going on. Look at these guys. They must be famous. Like, I don't understand. We gotta go check this out. We got to see what's going on. This is too strange. I don't want to like harass them by following them. But if they're taking pictures with fans, I got to find out what's going on. Can you explain who those people are? Do you speak English?
A little English. So what to question?
Are they famous? Is that why?
They're famous. Girls.
Yeah.
Girls are cheerleaders.
They're cheerleaders.
Basketball cheerleaders of Taiwan. Fubang Angels.
Okay, so were they performing music, or before? What was going on?
Sorry.
It's okay. I just saw that you were taking their photo, and I saw a lot of
so they have
in this place. And
I saw them there before. Yeah.
the Taiwan's famous cheerleaders, Fubang Guardians cheerleaders.
Is it for baseball? Is that
Basketball.
and basketball.
Oh, okay. And is Dodgers? Is that a team here? The Dodgers? Or the uniform they were wearing? I was trying to read.
Uniform.
Yeah.
Yes, the coat, jacket, and uniform is Fubang Guardians uniform.
Is baseball and basketball very popular in Taipei?
And baseball is very popular in Taiwan.
Really? Is it possible to see a game this time of year, or is there baseball now?
Baseball in this March.
In March.
Taiwan's baseball team will come to Tokyo and World
baseball classes held by America.
You know what? When I was a boy, the first time I heard of Taipei was Little League Baseball, Chinese Taipei.
Yes.
So
Chinese Taipei.
That was the beginning of me understanding that baseball is very popular here.
Yes.
So I'm only here for another week. I won't be able to see baseball in January or February. No baseball right now.
Because baseball usually play in summer.
In summer.
Yes.
So I've missed it this time.
In winter and autumn, Taiwan is raining, so the baseball will hold in March or April.
I came at the wrong time.
Yes.
But at least I got to see the cheerleaders though.
Yes. Cheerleaders in the winter is they will performance in the basketball.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys. Shen. Okay, see you. Bye-bye. That was awesome. I'm so glad I got to talk to some people here. That was really fun. When I was in Cebu, you guys might have seen my video when I was in Cebu the week of Sinulog. And I stumbled across this, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a parade. It was, I think, a religious ceremony where I came across like 1,000, maybe it was 5,000 people all lined up. And spontaneously I started talking to people and I thought, wow, this is really what I want to do. It's all good for me to walk around doing these vlogs solo. I enjoy it. But really, when the conversations happen, that's the magic, really. So I'm not sure exactly how to go about it. Sometimes I don't want to presume that people will want to talk to me. In this case, I didn't know if there'd be a language barrier, but having that conversation just lights me up and makes me think, okay, that was the purpose of me seeing those cheerleaders, as we've now learned earlier. It led to that conversation, which is, at the end of the day, when I talk about going around the world, I talk about busking, really what underscores my desire to do that is I want to meet people and connect with people. I think the future of this channel is me learning how to approach people and have conversations like that. And by doing that, I think I'll better be able to document really what it means to be in places like Taipei in Taiwan. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to showing you a bunch of incredible experiences I think I'm going to have here on this trip. So once again, thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video.